Sit down a little. Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Kim Duramo, and this is Mind Body TV. We are live today in the Boston area at Athleta and Market Street in Linfield, and today's topic is how to love your body into health. So first, everybody say hello, who is here for the broadcast. We have some amazing, happy, shiny people who have come. And the question that I've asked everybody that I'd like you to think about right now is, number one, how do you feel about your body? What is your body image on a scale of 1 to 10? How positive is your body image on a scale of 1 to 10? That's number one. So please tap in your comments. How do you feel about your body? On a scale of 1 to 10, how positive is your body image? And then the second piece is what would have to be different in order for that to go up. So as we're broadcasting today, I'd like everyone to kind of ponder that, percolate on that, and then share it. And the number, just what comes to your head at the very first thing that comes to your head. Where am I residing and how I feel about my body? How positive is my body image? And then you can kind of think, what would have to be different? What am I thinking? What am I expecting? What am I wanting to be different in order for that to go up? I'm going to share some really beautiful things that have been shared here as we've been connecting in the store. And welcome to everyone who's joining live and also to everyone who's listening to the recording. Our body image, the way we feel about our body, has everything to do with our health. We tend to think that once I have lost weight, or once I have gotten more fit, or once I have fill in the blank, then I'll accept my body more. But the fact is that self-love is the most powerful medicine, and all the judgment we have on our body is more toxic than anything you can imagine. So what's actually required is that we come into that harmony with our body first, and then we can allow something to be different. So the premise of this is how love allows healing. And it's not just changes in your physical body like, oh, I really want to lose that extra weight, but actually healing in every level of your life. And there's some interesting things that came up as I was connecting with people in the store before we started, that so many things that aren't even related to our physical body can have an impact on how we feel. Like one young woman was really upset about her performance on some tests, 17 years old, and I don't feel so great about my body, but if my SAT scores were better, I would feel better about myself. So there's so many things with our performance that we can put on our physical body. The fact of the matter is, and so much science has shown, that your body is responding to your judgment about it. So when you have these ideas and beliefs, I'm not good enough, I should be better, I have too much weight on my body, this is a bad thing, I don't like my butt, I don't like my boobs, I don't like my feet, I don't like my nose, all of this judgment creates a physical resistance. It's an energetic frequency that actually is toxic to your body. So take a few deep breaths as you're coming in, and thanks everyone for the comments. Hello to Carol and Nicole and Randy, Heather, so many great people here. I'm getting some 7s. Go ahead and put your numbers in. I'm going to share some of the things that came up when we were sharing before that they're all really, really beautiful. Specifically, one woman said that her body image was a 6, and that what would have to be different in order for that to go up would be I would have to eat better, and I have to exercise more. And the reason I wanted to start with this one is because I think many, many, many women or women and men are at this space where we're told we need to eat better. If you just eat better, if you just eat better, if you just exercise more, then you're gonna have this outcome and everything's gonna be really good. And it's actually a lie. Your body, your weight, your metabolism, everything happening within your body is a result of how you feel about yourself, not the other way around. So what would it take for me to love and embrace my body exactly as it is? This is very scary and can be really challenging if we don't like what we see, if we don't like how we feel. So just have a few deep breaths to feel into that. All the fear of, if I accept this as it is, I see a lot of 5s coming up. Suzanne McCullough, very exciting. People from high school. So basically we're waiting for something to happen in order to then give ourselves this self-love or self-acceptance, and we remain in judgment until that thing happens. But guess what judgment does to your body? Guess what it does to your brain, to your immune system, to your metabolism, to your digestion? All of these things are blocked, and they're blocked in a very specific way that keeps the pattern in place. You can't easily shed weight and return to your ideal body weight if you're carrying extra weight as you hold this judgment. You can't perform better in sports. You can't perform better on tests, all of these things, if you're in the frequency of self-judgment. Really, really powerful in how this affects every cell in your body. And I wanted to have, actually, Liz, will you come in? I'm going to share with Liz, because Liz shared with me a couple things. First, what you shared with me when we were first talking about where you were with your body image, and then where you're at now and what's happened. And I don't know how to make this comment, so there we go.
Before I worked with Dr. Kim, I would say my body image was about a 2. And through working with her, I lost 60 pounds right after I started working with her. And now I'd say my body image is about an 8. But I realize it's not so much about losing weight, which of course I still have some to lose, but it's really about me putting myself first, my body first, and making time to make things happen that will make me feel healthier and feel better about it.
I want to look at what you wrote here, because you had said your mindset. No, that was
What was that?
No. You were. No, that was someone else. Honor my body more.
Yeah, yes, that was me. I need to honor my body more. And so I have to take time for all the things that make me feel better.
Yes, and this is one of the reasons I want to share what you're saying. I mean, you just glow and you look beautiful, but we think it's when I have this result in place, when I have this achievement in place, and it's not just our health or our body, but it gets so much projected onto our physical form, then I will accept myself. But the physical body is responding to all of your judgments about it, all of the ways you feel about it, all the ways there's even resentment or the idea or conclusion, I haven't done good enough, I shouldn't have eaten this thing, or I should have done this other thing and I didn't, so I'm not in approval of myself. And that level of self-improvement, the approval is what allows your body to come into your ideal weight. It's not about losing weight, but for you it was, because you had this excess heaviness you were carrying that wasn't even really you. So how can you let your body come into the harmony with kind of how you're really here to be and how your body really wants to express itself? We have to give our body what it needs. So can you share a little bit about what that journey was like with being asked to celebrate your body when you kind of already felt like, no, I'm not ready for that yet? What was it like to move into that energy anyway?
It was letting go of my thoughts about myself, really releasing those and embracing the good parts of myself and seeing that size doesn't really matter. Mm-hmm. It's what's here and how you feel about yourself, how you loving yourself.
Yes.
Right? Learning to love myself. That's what I really had to do.
So yes, amen, right? It's a courageous move, especially as a woman, where there's a much younger girl here who's 12 and was talking about her change would be, I would be smaller. And it wasn't just, I have to lose all this weight. I'd be about an inch smaller and maybe a size smaller, and all of this thing about let's fit it into a smaller container, and how we as women are asked not to be big, not to be expressive, not to be that kind of out of control
Keeping
and
yourself
unpredictable.
Small.
Keep yourself small.
Right. Yeah, I always also, grew up in a family where our focus was on taking care of everyone else and not myself.
Yes.
And but really learning to take care of myself, and not all those kind of things keep you small. All that judgment, all that anxiety,
trying to
fear,
stay small is so suppressive, and then so many women have
Right.
extra weight on physically, and how is that actually an invitation to just be the bigness that we are?
Right, because if we're doing that, that's what we reflect, right? And so you keep the people around you small because they're buying into all your
BS.
stuff.
Yeah.
BS, yeah, your BS, so you don't even know it's BS
Awesome.
until you let it go.
Thanks, Liz.
Thank you.
Woohoo! All right, I am going to bring the comments back in because I want to look at that. You are sideways on the video. I know. I'm so sorry. Gosh, what did I do wrong? Because my comments are coming in sideways. Is that better? Maybe? Rotate your phone. Sorry, ladies. Is that better, or am I still sideways? Can you turn the phone? Oh. All right, let's try it. Let's just do that and see what happens. All right, is that okay? It's better? All right, so I need to be more active. I would feel better about myself, but I'm too sick most of the time to do much about it. Yes, come. All right, so we're gonna hold the phone this way now. Sorry about that. So Martha, who happens to be Liz's sister, we were sharing, this was really beautiful. That was what you had said, wasn't it?
What?
Mindset?
Said
Oh no, you said it
it
was that things can't be. So Liz, Martha had this idea that, and I want you to share a little bit about your story, because there's so many women who've had this exact same kind of diagnosis, and they're like, how can that get better? That can't get better because it's a physical thing. Right. But she had this idea, like, I can't have it too good. I can't really have it all. So yeah, maybe I'm healthier, but now I started to gain weight, and there were all these limiting beliefs.
Right. So I was diagnosed with an autoimmune condition, and bought into the premise that it was only going to get worse. And my working with Dr. Kim really helped me understand that there's all kinds of possibilities with that, and I didn't have to go down the track of the possibilities that it has to get worse, and how can it get better for me. And by changing my mindset and opening to receive whatever is out there to help me, I have found new ways to help me, and I've really physically felt a lot better. Yeah, and so my frustration initially was, people would say, well, to get better, you don't have to work out, you just need to walk. Well, I was having difficulty walking. So then I would beat myself up and say, well, I can't even walk. How am I going to ever get better? And by opening to accept where I was at,
Yes.
really helped me open to baby steps to get better. Instead of saying that, I have to be able to run a marathon tomorrow, which right now I couldn't run out the door, but I've been able to walk so much better. I've improved my balance, I've improved my movement, and I know that it's only going to expand from here. Mm-hmm. And but in the process, as I've opened to all that better balance and better movement, I've kind of like retracted and gained weight, because it's not because I'm eating, and yes. I buy into all that. I eat healthy foods. I don't eat a lot of junk food, but I still am holding on to something that my body's saying, okay, you can only be this big.
Yes.
And so in order to, if you're going to be healthy, then you have to give up being thinner. And so, it's kind of like I have a limit, there's a cap, that if one thing gets better, then something else has to get smaller in order to...
So to be at a 10, you'd have to release these limiting ideas about what's possible.
Exactly.
And about your body, or how your body functions.
Exactly.
And are you willing to do that?
Yes, I am.
So just let your body know every day, body, it's okay to let that go. Body, it's okay to let that go. Yeah. Because with that go also... sometimes we have even friendships where we're in the same thread as that person. It's like, oh, that friendship requires me to believe this limiting thing about my body, or this limiting thing about life. And if I were to be more expansive, I wouldn't really be able to hang out with that person anymore. Right. So there may be things that are ready to go, and they will move away as you embrace this expansion, because it's pretty expansive to say, everything's possible for me. And I allow that level of healing effortlessly. Most people are still buying into, if I work really, really, really hard and I eat right, then I can have this thing.
Exactly.
And not really letting themselves embrace the magic of the body.
Right. And then the body is magical. I mean, it's pretty wild to see how it can respond when you give it the space to expand.
Yes. And I think it's a huge encouragement to other women who have that diagnosis too.
Yeah.
If you want.
Oh, definitely. So it's gotten so much better, but it's interesting you talk about people around you, and people around you I've defined myself by what I believe they believe about me.
Yes.
And it's really not what they believe about me, but I've defined myself about where they think I'm limited.
Yes.
So I hold on to that limitation.
Yes.
And what happens is, as I expand, what also happens with people I love is that they get uncomfortable.
Yes, it's exactly
They
what I'm
get
pointing
really-
to.
they get
It's going to
really
require you to
uncomfortable.
let people have the discomfort,
Yeah.
because as you move into expansion, people can be uncomfortable. And if you're more committed to making others comfortable than you are to your own expansion, you might keep going back there.
And that's what I found.
So that's why I asked
keep
you,
going
are
back
you
there.
ready? Because if you're really ready, you'll choose it unconditionally.
Right.
You let people have their discomfort. It's okay.
Right.
They'll move through their discomfort with the same empowerment and courage that you have shown.
Right. And you've demonstrated this to me time and time again, that when I expand, I'm like shocked by how other people expand around me, instead of me saying, oh, why? You know, if I expand, then that's going to be bad for them.
Yeah.
But it actually always comes through better. Definitely.
Love you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, we're going to bring up the third sister. Wait, you don't want to come up just really briefly? Yeah, so they have another sister who's stunningly beautiful and has these glowing, gorgeous eyes. She doesn't want to come on camera. But she had shared, and we're right, if I would honor my body more. Because it's not about, oh, it would be a 10 if I would just lose weight, if I would just eat healthy, if I would just da-da-da-da. We sometimes do those things as out of self-hate. Like, oh my God, I hate my thighs. I got to go run 5 miles. Oh my God, I can't stand my, butt. I've got to stop eating blah, blah, blah. We do these things, but not as a way to love the body, not as a way to nurture the body, and it will not create health. It does not have the same effect. It actually has a more detrimental effect to make those choices. So she was really clear, like, if I would just honor my body more, I would allow that to come into fruition. And I want to bring up Kelly. You want to come up? Kelly is a really good friend from high school. So a lot of you know I was born and raised in the Boston area, so I have a lot of peeps around here. So we've been out here on vacation to visit the family. So a lot of people could, be here for the live, and it's so exciting. Kelly is this beautiful, amazing, glowing 45-year-old.
Yes.
Must be also, because
Yep.
I am. Mm-hmm. And I asked her about her number, and I asked her what it would take for it to come up. And it was really interesting because when you said, so we share your number, what you shared with me.
I said it was an 8. I I felt pretty comfortable with my body and what I'm capable of doing, and
We gotta get closer to fit into
feel
the
pretty
screen.
strong, but
Okay, and when she said, I'm an 8, she was in this like glowing state of appreciation. And we can judge our number too, like,
Right.
I'm not a 10, I should be a 10. Or
I was proud of my 8. I was happy with
you
my
were
8.
very, and so there's like this inner glow and this effervescence that came through when she was talking about it. And then we talked about what would have to happen for it to be higher. And so I want to share a little bit.
Right. I said that I had really wanted to try and be a little bit stronger, that I felt strong, but that I felt like I could improve in those areas and probably still lose a little bit of weight, not at my perfect ideal weight. And I've been being active and trying to run more. And that's a challenge for me. So if I
Okay.
could do that better, I would be happier.
So the thing, it was really clear when I saw you, was just, would you be willing to celebrate your body now
Right.
at the level of a 10? Because when we're willing to do that unconditionally, like, I haven't lost any weight, I haven't achieved more fitness goals, I'm willing to love my body as a celebration, as a 10 right now, that will propel your running,
Right.
that will allow total changes in like metabolism, hormone balance, digestion, like all the things that we know are involved with how much weight your body carries. And you get to have it now. You get to have that effervescence of what you really are. And if it is aligned that you do a marathon, or it is aligned that your body wants to be at a lower weight, it will happen.
Right.
It will happen effortlessly and naturally. And it may be you're just like inspired to eat different foods, or no longer having these cravings for these other foods. Your body will actually guide you
Right.
because you're in a different equilibrium and in a different harmony with your body. But when we're doing it out of, oh, when I finally get there, then
Right.
I'll have this 10, we suppress so much of the things that would be sourcing us, the things that would be fueling us.
Right.
So see how that is to play with that, and like, and if it's there for you and it's really inspired, there you're going to be running, and you'll do it in joy, and it will be easy to like do your training and do your things, instead of pushing. A lot of people push and fight and work and hard. I gotta do this run. Oh my gosh, now I have hip pain. I gotta do this run. Oh my gosh, now I have the flu again. And they're trying to overcome their self-hatred instead of aligning with self-love first. All right, let's see how it goes.
I will. I'll keep you posted.
All right, I'm going to look at some of the questions that people have here. And I hope that The phone is the right angle now. I know it's harder to fit this way. So we've got 7s, 5s. Haven't seen any 9s and 10s. Hold on a sec. Where we go? Okay. Rachel says, Dr. Kim, what about the issues we face with body confidence as we age? With each milestone, I seem to feel less and less confident. And then when I hit 40, I felt really depressed. Like things will only decline. I feel like things will only decline as I'm getting older. It's really hard to become confident as I age. How can I change this mindset? It's very similar to what we just were talking about with Martha, where you're going to go out of the box of where most people are living. Most people are in a limitation about the body and about the physical and about what's possible. But we're all moving into something much, much more expansive and truly infinite. Can I source myself from there? Can I allow there to be infinite possibilities? So for me, I embraced many years back that I would only improve as I age. I would become more resilient. I would become more self-expressed. I would become more in love with my body. And I have this little exercise I've done where every time I look in a mirror, and I've shared the mirror exercise in a lot of my courses, where you actually spend 5 minutes or 10 minutes in front of a mirror as naked as you comfortably can be. Maybe just leave your underwear on or something, but this is really, really hard for many, many women. And just gently put your gaze on any body part, or you can scan up and down your whole body and just send, I love you, I love you, I love you. Even if you don't really believe it at first, as you let yourself see your physical body and just hold the frequency of I love you instead of, oh God, this is way too much. Oh my God, I hate the way this looks. Oh, this shouldn't be like that. When we hold the frequency of I love you, we allow a lot of energy to clear. You're actually letting your cells know you can let go of this shame I bought into. You can let go of this disgust. You can let go of all this anger and frustration. Those energies, those emotions, when they're stuck in the body, really disrupt your physical expression, and they create disease and illness. So I do it in this way, you know, even if I'm like walking by a mirror or something, you've got all these mirrors in this store. If I catch myself in the mirror, I will send love to that, to my body, to what I see. And do it in my mind. You don't have to say it out loud, because sometimes you're like in the middle of a conversation with someone, but you are aware of your body, or you see the image of your body reflected, and just send it love. Neutralize all of the judgment that you've held. And what this has to do with aging is you're really unwinding a lot of the stuff you've bought into. And Rachel, and for everyone who we have here, would you be willing to operate differently? Would you be willing to let go of everything you have learned about aging and what that means and what is supposed to be happening there? Because the science we have had, you know, we've had this whole idea of here's what happens to the body with aging, as if it's a constant, as if it's a conclusion, and it's not. It isn't true for all of us, and it doesn't need to be true for any of us. Can I operate in a different system? Can I operate in a different energy where I become more resilient and more beautiful and more in love with my body as I age? I had just a little baby at 40. I'm 45, so I got pregnant at 44, and I felt amazing in my both pregnancies. But a lot of people would say to me, oh, is it different this time than the first time because you were younger then? Or, oh, I wonder what it's like versus if you got pregnant at 25. Oh, you know you're going to have more pain. You know you're going to have a harder delivery. You know you're going to be more tired. And I just received it like, that's an interesting point of view. And I'm willing to look at that. I don't need to be in resistance of it, but that's not what I'm going to buy into. I don't actually hold that for myself. And I had a completely different experience than what a lot of people have during their, you know, pregnancy, delivery, recovery, and it's been incredible because I allowed myself to have that. So go slow. Don't try to make yourself buy into a belief that's like way bigger than you can reach, because your mind will start to play games with you. Like, who's this happy, pappy blonde girl telling me? What does she know about the struggle? She looks like blah, 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 and she doesn't know any pain. Or the mind will give you all these ideas and judgments to keep you from receiving. And you don't need to do that. So just be willing, what would it be like? Just be willing to ask, what would it be like if I let go of everything I thought and that I've been told about the body and about aging, so that I could receive something different? And just breathe into that little by little every day. Christiane Northrup is a great mentor. on all of this and talks about how we can connect more with our wisdom as we age and let that really improve our body and create more resilience in the body. We had another woman who was talking about, no, you don't have to come on, my beautiful sister, about her sports performance. Well, I'm really proud of my body because of all these things it's done, and I have babies and I can do things, but it would be better if I had more resilience, if I could perform better at sports. And what she's asking of herself is to perform with her 17-year-old in a specific way. Well, I want to be beating her. And it's not that that's not available, because it is. But when we get out of judgment and expectation of our body, we can have more performance. Now, it might not be that you're chasing after your 17-year-old and like killing it. She's a really good tennis player. But that maybe it's a 5% increase. We don't really know. It's what's available for you. But when you're no longer in that judgment and suppression or expectation, or the limitation of, hey, I guess it's not going to happen because I'm 45 years old, and therefore, when we're willing to operate in a little more of the unknown, we can receive a whole lot more. Deborah has said, self-love is hard for me. Lots of reasons, illness and overweight. It was really challenging to love my body when I was sick, or even still, like when I'm tired. For me, it's always been this, I shouldn't be tired, I shouldn't be tired, I shouldn't be tired. And so if I start to get even a little bit tired, it creates some resistance. So I've had to just be willing to be with that and move through that and not be in the judgment that slowing down means stagnation or that fatigue is a wrongness. So I now move through it a lot more fluidly. It doesn't get so stuck. It doesn't get so scary. But it was, and it is hard if we think love is, oh, I just love myself. Yes, what a lie. That's not how I feel at all. But can I embrace what I'm experiencing? Can I embrace, this is where my thighs are right now, and just send them that space of acceptance. Acceptance is a form of love. When we think love is all about happy celebration, we get a little bit off track. Stacy says, when I stopped trying to maintain other people's ideal version of what my body is supposed to be or what I could or could not eat, my body began to change. My health improved, I lost weight, and I'm in the best shape I ever have been. Amen. And this is so much what Mary Ellen shared too. She said, I was sort of having this judgment of myself, projecting it on other people. Other people are judging me. I've got to let go of other people's judgment. But what we're feeling is actually our own judgment. If we didn't hold that judgment, it wouldn't even occur to us that these other people are thinking something. It wouldn't bother us that they are quote unquote judging us, and we wouldn't even actually be in the resonance of awareness of it if we didn't hold that judgment ourselves. So we can let people's judgment of us make us aware of where am I holding judgment? Where am I still willing to see myself as wrong or incomplete or unacceptable? And am I willing to let go of that and release that so that I can be free? All right, a couple more of these. We got a lot of really great comments. Stacy says, when I stopped trying to, oh wait, no, I already read that one. Jose Luis, I love having men on here because this is a lot more of this judgment of the body is aware. Women are more aware of this, and men maybe kind of, it can be suppressed, but more and more men are coming to see like, wow, I have been in judgment of this part of myself, or the part that I'm not achieving enough, I'm not doing enough, I should be better. And it can go a long way for your body to release that. Emily says, I had a massage therapist a few years ago who had a full-length mirror placed right where you got off the table. I loved it. I'd be feeling really good and in touch with my body, so seeing it naked at that point when I got off the table was amazing. Apparently, some other women hated it, and so she would cover it for them. It can be really hard in any reflection, whether someone's judging us or I don't like what you did, to see a reflection of ourselves and then like a physical reflection as well. It brings up a lot. It's definitely not for the faint of heart, but it will be a really compassionate way to move a lot of energy. Randy says, since I've been dating, a lot of men have told me how beautiful and sexy I am and how great my body looks. At first, it was hard for me to take since I'm still healing from my illness. Yeah, like I'm not good enough, I'm not there yet. I should be at that completion before I can feel good about my body. But then I decided to receive it, not only what they were saying, but how they were seeing me, and let myself have that. And it really helped a lot of how I see myself too. Woohoo! Carol says, I used to be an 8 and I dropped down to a 4. And now I'm at an 8. Yay, I love my body. It's my temple. And when it's time, I will move to a 10. So I would invite all of us to realize that the movement from the 8 to a 10 of how good I feel about my body, how much I'm willing to celebrate my body, has everything to do with our choice. Am I willing to celebrate my essence right now exactly as I am? And yes, this is going to feed and nurture your body. It is the most powerful medicine. It will allow all of those things that are ready for you, if it's shedding excess weight or adding excess weight or adding strength or adding resilience or whatever it is that you think is required, or shedding a disease. It's actually that space of love and acceptance for where I am right now that is going to facilitate that in happening. So what would it take for me to embrace and celebrate and cherish myself at that level of a 10 out of 10 in seeing my innate perfection? Because I am the one who chooses that. I am the one who is what I've been waiting for, not the number on the scale or I have 10 days with only eating green fruit, or I have this perfect thing. So I had my niece bought me this beautiful green smoothie. It's kind of a greenish orange smoothie, but I can celebrate and cherish my body with food. I can eat kale because I love and celebrate myself. Sometimes I don't want to eat kale. So if you eat kale out of the sense of, I really should do this, I really should do that, I shouldn't eat this other thing, I should only eat these things, I guarantee you're not going to have what you think you're getting from that. So would you be willing, even if you do eat the whole chocolate cake today, to just celebrate where you are right now? Because that releases all of the shame that has us in self-deprecation or self-sabotage, and it is exactly the medicine we most need to move into things that celebrate and cherish us. So I want to have everybody say hello or goodbye as we finish our broadcast. We've been at Athleta. I didn't give a shout out to Athleta. I live in Athleta like 99% of the time. And Erica Glessing, my manager, had suggested doing this at a live Athleta because she had done an event in an Athleta. I'm like, Erica, I'm in head to toe Athleta right now, like any given day, whether it's sporty clothes or relaxed clothes, because I love how it feels on my body, and it's just my own personal brand, what fits well on my body. And I think we each have our own personal, brand or brands, whether it's food or clothing or things we really love that resonate with us. That's part of being in harmony with your body. Like, get to know what your body, what does your body love? Like, my body loves the softness, and it's really important, the textures and how I feel and how I can move. Like, I always like to be able to move, so I'm almost always in athletic clothes. My little Gemma, where's she? We were dancing in the store before we came in, and you never know when you need to break into dance or song, and if you have clothes on that feel comfortable in your body for the things you like to do, it's really essential. So honor your body with your clothing, honor your body with food, honor your body with self-touch, self-love, in whatever way feels good to you. I used to, at one point, dyed my hair dark because I actually wanted to be taken more seriously. I thought, I can't pull this off and be fluffy blonde girl. I know part of me did want to deepen and anchor something in, but I also had this judgment on myself. So if people would ever say, what was the word? Flighty. There was a word like, you're just such a ditz. And it killed me. Like, I really hated it because I held that judgment on myself because I didn't see the depth in myself. So I thought something needed to change there. And I don't feel that way anymore. So I can do my hair and I put curls in this morning and do it as a celebration of myself. I love my pink eyeshadow and do that as a celebration of myself. So many women do it as a cover up to what they think is inadequate. Oh my gosh, I don't like how I look. Let me put this makeup on. I can't go out without my makeup. I can't go out without my hair done. That is a totally different energy. So find one way today to send yourself love in the mirror as best you can, and to begin to cherish and celebrate yourself with the physical. Food, clothing, do your hair, put some nice lip gloss on that you feel juicy in, and find a way to really cherish and celebrate your body now, and I guarantee it will awaken that inner goddess, and this goes for men as well, awaken the inner feminine. There's a huge power that we're all accessing now, and that is so much what allows health. So thanks everyone for coming live, and I'll see you next week, every week, for Mind Body TV. Lots of love. I'm at drkimd.com for any of you who want to subscribe and tune in. Bye.